Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitchhiking Yeti here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's vlog is going to be a small town, back roads of North Carolina type of video. We're going to start our little adventure off right here in the town of Ramseur, which is a filming location for an old horror movie from the early 1990s. I'm talking about Children of the Corn 2. Some of that was filmed here in town. When we make it all the way down to the end of Main Street, I will actually show you the opening scene of the movie. We're going to line some pictures up, and then we're going to hit the back roads, make our way up toward Liberty. There's a few things I want to see on the way to Liberty. Never been to Liberty before. I'm really looking forward to it because that area, somewhere up in that area, is the original location for Jack Roush Racing, which opened back in the late 80s, like 88 or 89. And since I was such a big NASCAR fan through the 90s and the early 2000s, I remember a lot about Jack Roush Racing with Mark Martin. And those two actually started that race team up right there in Liberty. So we're going to go by the old race shop, which is not a race shop anymore, not that I know of. I think it's like an old pallet company now where they make pallets and things like that. But we're going to go by there and see if there's any leftover memorabilia from that time period. Like on the sign, is there a ghost sign that says Roush on it? I'm going to be interested to see if that's there. So that's kind of what I got on tap today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let's go ahead and begin right here in the town of Ramseur. So we're starting our tour off right here at the Randolph County Sheriff's Office. And I like that signage up there. It says Ramseur, where family and friends meet, established in 1895. Pretty awesome. It's a very quaint little town. So I'm really looking forward to this walk around the town. We're coming up on the post office down here. And right here we have this really cool looking old style church. And speaking of churches, when we leave this town, we're making our way up toward Liberty. They're actually a 200-year-old church we're going to stop by and see. That's going to be pretty cool, I think. I hope it's still there, but I've seen a little information online about it. This is actually a United Methodist church. And the church I'm going to show you a little bit later, the 200-year-old church, is actually, I think it's an old Baptist church. 200 years is pretty awesome. But speaking, man, this church right here really is a pretty awesome looking. I like that like bell tower like thing they got there. That is pretty cool. And look at the stained glass up there. Ramseur Methodist Church. It's very nice, very pretty. Now I've made my way over here to the United States Post Office here in the town of Ramseur. And supposedly there's only about 1,700 people living here in this little town. And Ramseur was named for Stephen Dotson Ramseur, a Confederate Major General of the Civil War. So that's a little backstory on the town and the population here. And there's a cool sign on this window right here that I seen when I drove in. We don't BS barbecue. The Broken Spit, coming soon. That is quite the sign. That is a good way to tell everybody you are on your way, because you know they don't BS. They're for real. And right here we have Lux TV, which looked to be some kind of like an electrical appliance store. They got some speakers, like mobile TVs. It's got a built-in LCD TV in it, Bluetooth speakers. I'm actually here on a Sunday, and as you can see, not a lot going on. This is very much has the looks of a ghost town, even though I do see a car from time to time making their way up Main Street here. And right across the road, let's take a walk across the crosswalk here. Made my way over here to Ramseur Community Museum. The clock, unfortunately, is not working, but a very interesting little rectangular artistic rendition right there of something. Not really sure what the heck that is, but but really neat looking building. Really old school. Tell this building has quite a bit of age on it. Ramseur Community Museum, open 4th weekend of each month. Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Sunday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Other times are by appointment. Just about one store down from the community museum, you have this place. It's called Magnolia's on Main. And this is really, really neat looking place. You can tell this is not original at all. Look at all this rock work and everything. A lot of glass. All kind of trinkets in this store, that is for sure. And I love how it kind of cuts in. You can see this in old towns here in North Carolina especially. You'll have like just a little indention built and it kind of shapes out and you'll have like one little stanchion right there. You don't see stuff designed like this anymore. And right here on the corner of Main Street and Carter Street, we have a place that's called Phone Man. Free cell phone, unlimited talk, text, data. And check out this mural that we have. We have this like have a nice day, kind of a happy face. That's a very bubbly face. I like that one. But right here is the Phone Man mural. Shop local, it says. Yeah, so right here at Phone Man, you can definitely see there ain't a whole lot going on here in the town of Ramseur. These are vacant storefronts again. Quite a few of this stuff is very vacant. Not a lot going on. Got us a vape shop right across the road here in this big historic looking brick building. And this right here is called Vic's Picks. They even have an old decrepit bench out here. It says Vic's Picks on it. All right, I just spoke to a sheriff's officer here in Ramseur, Randolph County, and he was giving me a little backstory to this right here. I think he said this was an old abandoned like train depot location or something. It had something to do with the trains. And there was a textile mill that was located here in the area also. It was called the Deep River Columbia Manufacturing Company. And this was an old hydroelectric dam down here. And this here's what used to provide the electricity to the mill. And that 4-story tower down there was actually built in 1888. And they closed this whole thing down back in 1963. It's been demolished since. So we're going to walk down here and check that out. He just told me to be careful. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. I got to be honest. I'm so glad, I wore my sunglasses. Because it said it was going to be sunny today. But when I started to vlog off, that was not the case. But the sunshine is definitely out now. And the ground that I'm walking on down through here is very kind of uneven. What's going on over here? Ooh, looks like coyotes have been out here chewing on a deer or something. I'll show you what I'm talking about, but look at this. Look at that like concrete work right down through there. It's like a channel feeding. Maybe it used to feed water. I bet there was a dam over here at one time that fed water down through here, and that's what made the turbine spin to make electricity. But yeah, I seen this old carcass right here, and yeah, definitely something been chewing on that. But as I was saying, when I came down here today, this is not what was in the plan. But this is the part of vlogging that I really enjoy. It's when you go places and you just kind of, you're winging it a little bit. You just kind of stumble upon certain little historic nuggets. And just look at that. That is pretty awesome. This place is really, really cool looking. Don't look like we're going to be able to get too close to it. I don't think. Because all this greenery, well, it's dead now, but you can imagine it's summertime. This is definitely area. A lot of broken bricks here on the ground from, I guess this used to be where something used to set and they demolished it. It's kind of a broken path right through there. Right here's that, maybe that waterway that I was showing you a little bit earlier. Look at that, there's like a concrete platform or some kind of wall right there. That's very, very interesting right there. Right over here is the waterway, the river. Look at those steps over here. Check this place out, man. This is freaking cool. One good thing about walking through a place like this time of year is you don't have to worry about snakes and bees and stuff like that. But he said they've walked back here several times. He said, just be careful. I'm like, all right, don't worry, man. Check that out down in there. Yeah, that is wild. Those steps. Look how big that vine is right there that goes up the side. I mean, holy crap, Tarzan could he could swing on that. Now we come inside, look like somebody's even built a campfire here at some point. It's kind of damp, a little bit of graffiti on the wall. It's very cool in here. Definitely a very spooky. Just look at that. Yeah, these good old iron steps right here. It's good metal. I don't see anything rusted either. Still got the paint on it. Look at this. Holy crap. Right here's the turbines. Still here. Look at this stuff. All their electric gadgets and stuff like that. Yeah. This is way cool. I am so glad I walked down here and checked this out. This is awesome. You just never know. Right here's the steps here on the back side that you can walk out through there. Ain't a whole lot to see from right here, to be honest with you. I'm gonna duck back inside, look down into wow, look at that over there. You can see more of the turbine pieces down in there. You just never know until you go. All right, we're just gonna duck on out of here. I'm leaving a different way than I come in. Yeah, it was a little bit easier. I'm glad I did that. So, man, check that out. That right there, that was awesome. That was so cool. Just gotta watch your step. A lot of bricks. There's even more of this old hydroelectric plant, even back right over here. See, there's bricks. There's some more brick walls still standing right there in that area. And you can see the building tops up there of the town of Ramseur. Matter of fact, we got to head back up that way now, where I can show you the filming location for Children of the Corn 2, the second one. So let's make our way on up there and check that out. All right, that was awesome. So fun coming to these little towns and you find something awesome like that. So now we're going to make our way right up through here. And this little building right here is in the location where there used to be an old White House that sat there. And that was the house used in the opening sequences of the movie Children of the Corn 2, which the White House is being, it's not there anymore. Had a basement scene in there. We're going to line up some photos before we leave the town of Ramseur. Really cool visit today. All right, so right here is a screenshot from the beginning scene of Children of the Corn 2, which was filmed right here where I'm at here in Ramseur, North Carolina, looking up Main Street. See a white house off to the left. You see some body bags, an ambulance. You see a reporter, news reporter right down here at the bottom of the screen. A school bus with like a brick building next to it. Well, those buildings, the brick building and the white building next to it with those like funky step up, step down roof, they have been demolished. They're not here anymore. But the next building way back there in the back, it's got 3 tiers to it. It's like 3 steps, like 2 small steps and then a little bit bigger step as it goes up to the very top. Well, that one is still here. The telephone pole's right there next to the White House. Also, you can see. And this is what it looks like today. Try to line it up about as good as I could, but you can see the telephone poles. You can see those funky steps on the top of the building off there in the distance. Pretty awesome. And also when we zoom in to another shot of the reporter, the news reporter, you can get a little bit closer look at the step ups on the brick building. And we're going to walk up there and I'm going to get a little bit closer to you just to line that up where you can see it a little bit better. But this is actually where the opening scene in Children of the Corn 2 all unfolded. All right, I was standing right down there when we was lining up our shots from the beginning of Children of the Corn 2, The Last Sacrifice. Right here is the property where the old White House used to sit, where they find all the bodies down in the basement of that house, and that's why they actually had bodies in the opening scene lined on that grassy knoll right there. There used to be some buildings here which have all been demolished, but when you look in, you zoom in close and you see the reporter talk in that one scene, you can see the top of this building right here very easily. You can see these step ups right here. Really, really easy. So really cool place. Ramseur is a very interesting town. I am here on a Sunday, but it is very ghost town-esque. And even the nice officer I spoke to, he said it's a very quiet little place. You know, not a lot happens here. Pretty quiet little town. But yeah, this has been an awesome little day. And got to say something right now. Right here is an awesome Coca-Cola sign, which I ain't seen a lot of signs on the side of brick buildings today. This is my first one. I'm always looking for a good Coke or Pepsi sign here in the South, or Sundrop. Cherry Wine's another one. Probably have to go to Salisbury to see quite a bit of those, but it says have a Coke. That is pretty cool. All right, let's go hit the road and make our way up toward Liberty now, see what we can get into on the back roads of good old NC. All right, I made it to my next location here at the Sandy Creek Primitive Baptist Church. Here is the meeting house right here that they have service here on the second Sunday of each month at 2:30 p.m. And right here is the old historic church of Sandy Creek. Check that out, man. This is awesome. The first meeting house is 26 by 30, was built in 1762. The present log house was built around 1802. The present frame house was built in 1946. That is pretty awesome. So that in there was 1946. And this one here was built around 1802. Pretty cool. I'm very, very curious if we're allowed to go inside. Sometimes places like this actually will let you walk in since it is a church. And it says, welcome to enter the Baptist Church. Not responsible for accidents. So we're just going to open this. There, we got the door open, a little tight. Kind of just walk in right here and take a look around at this old historic church. Look at this. Here's the pulpit. Have the pews in here. All these little Bibles down here to pass out. I like how they have, because, you know, sitting on wood like that is a little tough on your booty. And they have like these little like homemade little pillows to sit on. Everything like stitched. Just the way Mom used to make stuff like that. Mom used to be into making blankets and clothing a little bit. I remember the first time kids started wearing jams. I don't know if some of y'all will know what the heck a jam is, but it was a type of shorts back in the 80s. And I wanted some. And they were there for a while. It's kind of very hard to come by. And my mom actually got some patterns and let me pick some stuff out. And she actually stitched it together and made my own homemade jams. So I was rocking jams that my mother made me. So that's what come to mind for whatever reason when I started looking at all these little pillows, to make sitting for church a little bit more comfortable. So cool right here. I actually have a thing on here about next meeting, which is already coming past. January 12th would have been their meeting they had here. Right here, you can actually sign their guest book, which I will definitely do so. And then right over here, we have the Randolph County Historic Landmark, Sandy Creek Primitive Baptist Church, 1802. So yeah, man, this is pretty cool. This is awesome. I wonder, that's just extra pews up there. Even up here is more pews. See if we can go over here and take a peek. I don't know if it's frowned upon to climb this old ladder, but I'm not going to go all the way up. But I do want to just look at it. Oh my gosh. It's banked. Look at I don't know if you guys can see it because it's really dark, but the flooring is actually going down. It actually dips down with probably a 12-degree incline. But they do have pews up here in the top, in the rafters. That is interesting. I gotta admit, I can't believe that they made it like that. But it's actually banked. That upper pew, I don't know if you guys can see it if we look at the bottom of these, if you can see how much it's actually a slope going downhill. So, yeah, that is wild. This is really awesome. What a cool spot. That was so cool. All right. Just lock that back like that. Got to tell you something though. That door right there is kind of spooky when you're open. It's like there's a lot of rub going on right here, so have to be extra careful if you want to go inside the church. I was trying to be as gentle as I could with it. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Really cool spot right here. Definitely a good place to come and check out an old historic church here in the Piedmont of North Carolina. All right, let's get back on the road, make our way over to Liberty. Check out Liberty, then we're going to wrap it up. Got a little NASCAR history to look at while we're over in that area. We're definitely going to be doing that too. So let's get on our way. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Really do appreciate it. All right, I'm right here on Highway 49, right outside of the city limit of Liberty. And this area right here is home to the original Roush Racing. This building right here was where it all started for Roush. Thinking back in about 1988, 89, somewhere in there. This is where Roush hired Mark Martin. That was his first driver in that number 6 car. Can't remember if he was driving Folgers at that time. Might have been. But eventually he went to the famed Valvoline number 6 car for many, many years. And that continued on even when they was in like Mooresville, Concord area. But right here is the old sign, still here to this very day, very grown up. There's a different business here now. Might be a pallet company or they make racks and things like that. Has nothing to do with racing, but this old sign, the old Rockwork sign, still sitting out here in Liberty. And you can barely make it out. It's a very ghost sign, but that used to say Roush on it. And then this right here actually said Fenway. So Roush Fenway Racing. And I don't know what year Fenway become a partner of Roush Racing, but I find that kind of interesting. I would imagine Fenway didn't come along until they moved to maybe Mooresville, or even there in the Concord area now, over there close to the airport in Concord, kind of close to Concord Mills Mall in that vicinity. But as far as I can I found like some pictures online of Mark Martin's car, the Valvoline 6 car, which supposedly was right here. I cannot say that for sure because I'm not on the inside, But this is where it all started, right here in Liberty, North Carolina, Roush Racing. Thought that was a cool little bit of NASCAR history. Maybe a lot of people don't know. You know, I didn't know it until I started researching a little bit. I kind of stumbled upon it when I was looking up things about Liberty, about the town. So yeah, I just want to stop by here and just talk about it. The old Roush Racing got to start right here, back in about 1988, 1989, and then the rest is history. Championships, Matt Kenseth. I mean, there was a pool of people out of there. That was, I mean, Carl Edwards came from Roush Racing. So a lot of good drivers. Greg Biffle, the list goes on and on. So let's go ahead. My favorite, though, just to put the record straight, my favorite was Mark Martin. Just something about Mark Martin at the end of his career. They call him Mark the Kid Martin, even though he was getting older. He was still willing to race car, able to win races. And that was at Hendrick Motorsports by that time, which was probably the biggest shocker to me when I was watching racing back in those days. I was like, what the heck? I can't believe he went to Chevy, because he retired. He done like a farewell tour almost into '6, and then he ended up signing. I think he went to Junior Motorsports for a short stint after Dale Jr. left to fill in the 8 car, and then eventually went to Hendrick Motorsports, and he was a contender again. Mark the Kid Martin, one of my favorite drivers to come out of Roush Racing. Okay, let's move on up into Liberty, check Liberty out, and then we're going to wrap it up today. Been a nice little day. I love days like today. This got to see all kinds of cool stuff. All right, I made it to the quaint little town of Liberty, North Carolina. Really awesome. Check out this place right here, Hurricane Jane's. Love the mural right here on the side of this building. That is so cool. It's got you a beach, some palm trees. We also have us a mermaid out there laying in the sun. Then you got a huge wave right here on the side of this cinder block building. Check that out. That is pretty cool. We're seeing stuff already, and look at this old yellow building right here. Now that there is definitely, they don't make buildings like that anymore, that's for sure. All right, I made my way up here to the corner of East Raleigh Avenue and South Fayetteville Street. Come across this little monument right here I thought was pretty neat. It says this is the approximate location of the southwest corner of the original public square of Liberty, North Carolina in 1809. Corner of Fayetteville and Salisbury Streets changed to Fayetteville and Greensboro Streets in 1875, and to South Fayetteville Street as it is now in West Raleigh Ave in 1958. This monument was actually erected in 1976 by the Liberty Lions Club. Well, hello there, Old Glory. Got you some wind today. So right here in this rock-style building is the Liberty Grounds Coffee Shop. Actually, Liberty Grounds Coffee, Wine and More. Pretty cool. And then right here, directly across the street, is the Liberty Lions Club. So this would have been the people who erected that monument down there back in 1976. About the old town square. Gotta say, it's very quiet today here for the most part. Here on a Sunday. Right over here is a barbershop, Mark's Barbershop. Kind of like this cafe right here. It says, "Y'all Come Back Cafe." That is pretty cool. I like that name. It's just a happy name. But right down here is something I'm really jazzed about finding, right down here in the town square. This is pretty cool. This is an old theater. Check this out. Look at that overhang marquee right there. Yeah, this is a really cool looking theater. Liberty Showcase is what it's called. That's the name of it. Out here on these marquees, you got the Isaacs that are coming February 8th. Authentic Unlimited, Mark Wheels. Yeah, this is a cool place. I love this marquee right here, this little overhang. That is so awesome. So back in the day, from when I was reading about this joint, the Liberty Showcase used to be called the Curtis Theater back in the day. It was a movie. It's where you go watch movies. It was just a movie theater. Got the old ticket booth right here. This old entrance right here, these doors. You know, sometimes back in the day, you would see theaters like this, and they always have the one window right out front here where people can walk from either side to buy tickets. But this one is just kind of planted very nicely right here on this corner. So that is really cool. All right, so right over there is the Liberty Showcase, formerly Curtis Theater. This place here is called Carolyn's. And I was reading a little history. This right here might be one of the few original shops here in town that's still the same thing it's always been, as Curlin's. That is pretty awesome that this place has survived for so many years and it's pretty much stayed the same. Pretty cool. A lot of people on this street. Now I thought this was going to be kind of a ghost town look to it, but looks like there's a lot of people parked getting out. Oh man, check out this place. That is cool architecture right there. I love the little A-frame entrance. That is so awesome. This green building right here is actually an antique and fine collectible shop. It's called the Shadow Box. Very cool. Check this out. Look at this little steps. Kind of goes down into a basement. That is pretty awesome. But the reason I was talking about the antique shop, they got another one just a few storefronts down. So antiquing here in the town of Liberty is a thing. A lot of antique shops here. You don't see like two back-to-back antique shops all that often, especially in these little small towns. Everyone's been very kind here. This place right across the street here is called Royal. It's got that yellow sign right there on that brick structure, that building. Quite a few people waiting. They was actually nice enough to say, hey man, the food area is like really, really good. They like the Mexican food that they serve in there, so nice little tip. And right here is the Liberty Chamber of Commerce, established in 1969. Look at this, it's like an old caboose, a Southern rail car. Surely that's not the office itself, right? But I think it is, because look at this sign right here. It says Chamber of Commerce, Chamber Office, maps, brochures, information. Got a little driveway right here. If this is really their Chamber of Commerce office, it's going to be legendary. Heck yeah, man, look. I mean, this thing is still sitting on some rails. They ain't playing around. Walk up here. This is it. I don't know if I can really see inside. It's pretty. We got a lot of stuff in there. Yeah. Chamber of Commerce. There's a caboose, train caboose. Is that a caboose? That's what it'd be at the very end, right? It's the way I used to see it when I was a kid. You know, all the other train cars was like hauling stuff. That little train set at home, and the caboose was always at the end, and it was the one that people would ride in back in the old days. All right, I've made my way over to the opposite side of the Liberty Depot here. And I did kind of walk around a little bit closer. I was looking for some kind of plaque stating how old it really is. Maybe a plaque of historic places, but really didn't see any kind of thing written up anywhere on the building itself. Maybe that's still to come, but sometimes on these older buildings like this, structure's not being used and they're just kind of here. Something's maintaining it, you know. Sometimes they will actually put a plaque out there, give you a little bit of history about it. But everything that I just told you, I just read online. There was nothing stating that here at the property itself. Made my way over here to Depot Street here in town. See those old train cars over there for hauling materials. Some really old brick buildings located right here on Depot Street. Not a lot imprinted on them, except this one right here. I wonder if this has something to do with the fire department. These are some really big bay doors right here. But if you look up there, it actually says Liberty Broom Works up there at the very top. Not really sure what that means. And something used to be right here, but can't quite make that out. When I go to these old towns, you find ghost signs. It's always kind of fun to try to figure out what it used to be. And sometime a kind local, I see you looking at them and they might give you a hint of what it is or just tell you what it is, but not a whole lot of people back here right now. But very interesting looking building nonetheless. Really cool place, Liberty, North Carolina. Never been here before, first time. Gotta say, pretty awesome little town. All right, welcome to the Liberty Heritage Museum. Check this out. This old basketball uniform from 1951 and 52. Check that out. That is pretty neat looking. And right next to that, we have this old Winston Cup Series official outfit. Ben Smith. That is so awesome. Check this out. Oh, right down here we got some more information. Right there is NASCAR official Ben Smith at the Daytona 500. This might be, you guys watching this, y'all might know this man. NASCAR Winston Cup official's uniform worn by Ben Smith, 1970 to 2007. Ben started with NASCAR in 1960. As a Winston Cup official, he acted as the pit road umpire. That is pretty cool. And then right here next to that, we have a military man. We got a U.S. Army uniform worn by Paul Henry Smith. I wonder if they're related. 430 anti-aircraft World War II. Wounded near Germany, later mayor of Liberty. Donated by Alice Collier Smith Moore. Right there's his picture. Right there is the uniform. Oh yeah, and right there is the restaurant that everybody was telling me about. I can smell it. It smells really good. I think I just found the most awesome bicycle parking stand I've ever seen. Check that out. That is pretty epic. That is so cool. Using an old Murray bicycle. Holy crap. Even the chain is still on that thing. It's rusted, you know, but they're getting some use out of it. All right, that will pretty much do it for me today here on the back roads of North Carolina, hitting some of these small town communities. Had a great time today. Liberty was awesome. Ramseur was really cool. See some cool stuff. The 200-year-old church I thought was very epic and really neat. See the beginnings of Jack Roush Racing, since NASCAR season is just right around the corner, about to kick off. I thought that was a fun little find. Till next time, friends, I'm the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I will see you in my next adventure. Y'all stay safe and hope to see you all again very, very soon.